This is RTP. This is RTP180.
So yeah, I'm going to be talking about smart classrooms this evening, and so some of the emerging technologies that we see coming into those spaces. So yeah, I'm part of an emerging technologies group called Lab 58 at RTI. As was said, I work out of the Immersive Technologies Lab. For your visual reference, this is what I look like at the lab when I am giving technology tours to our internal and external partners. This is what I look like the rest of the time when we are building immersive technology software and experimenting with new hardware and constantly confused. So a word of caution before we start. This is not a knock on Second Life or anything like that, but I want to share a story from when I was in college, and we had the opportunity to attend a class in a virtual world, which at the time was a hot topic then. Everybody wanted to put virtual world. Everything had to be in a virtual world. And so we were going to have the opportunity to attend class in one, and I was super excited because I'm a video game player, video game person, a maker of video games, and I knew about all the cool stuff you could do in virtual worlds. So I was very excited about doing this. And so I customized my avatar. I flew like a superhero across a virtual continent to go to a private island to attend this class and watched 2 hours of PowerPoint. Yay. I bring this up because we're going to have to think certainly bigger to accomplish some of the stuff that I'm going to talk about. And then we also have to be willing to invent some things from the ground up. So the first topic, the first subject areas I want to talk about immersive tech-enabled smart classrooms. So that's virtual reality, augmented reality, mixed reality, that sort of stuff. So in VR, we're going to be able to do some interesting things. So for one, teachers are going to be able to practice teaching in front of like virtual classrooms long before they're ever in front of an actual classroom. They can practice, they can hone their skills, we can give them really good data and good feedback on how they're doing long before they're ever in front of an actual classroom. Students are going to be able to go on virtual field trips, and in the Immersive Tech Lab now, people come in all the time, and we can send you to the bottom of the Marianas Trench, top of Mount Everest, Mars. And we can send students to all these places. And when they're in there, they're going to be working in actual multiplayer collaborative environments, not watching PowerPoint. And they're going to be building things, and they're going to be solving problems, and they're really good environments to learn in. So for augmented reality and mixed reality, we can place curriculum, instructions, messages, game elements, you name it, onto real-world objects when students have on mixed reality head-mounted displays. We can turn any object, small or large, into something that is educational or fun, and as a way to generate useful data. Teachers are actually going to be able to wear headsets like that and see feedback floating above students' heads on how they're performing in the moment. Right? You can look at somebody and you'll be able to see above their head, and you will know as a teacher how they're doing, and you can give them immediate feedback when they need it, when it is most useful. So the next thing I want to talk about is artificial intelligence. So for AI, we think of AI, the better way to think of it instead of like the Terminator, is more like a teacher's assistant that's going to help the teacher do some things that they maybe don't want to spend a lot of their time doing, or alternatively, a way to provide them a lot of useful information while they're doing their jobs. So computer vision is one example. That's a visual example there. So computer vision is actually going to let us track student movement in physical spaces. We can track how they're interacting with one another, how they're interacting with objects in the space, and it's going to, we can incorporate that into the learning experience. Natural language processing will let us actually listen to what the students are saying, not in a creepy way, but like what they're saying, how they're saying it, who they're saying it to, and the environments can actually respond to the things that they're saying. And machine learning is going to let us actually go through a lot of information very quickly on the fly. And give the students customized, personalized content that they're going to, instead of consuming like a one-size-fits-all kind of thing, it'll be personalized for them. So next up, and I think you got a preview of this, wearables. So wearables are going to be things like smart watches, smart uniforms, the sensors in the HMDs and the head-mounted displays, so VR and AR things, they're going to have eye tracking. We can tell not just where your head is turned, but where your eyes are actually physically looking. They'll have things like EEG, so we're going to be able to monitor brain activity and make challenging things in classrooms scale based on whether or not people actually feel challenged or not. So it'll be interesting. And that's going to let us do something called like sensor-enhanced assessment. So it's essentially obtaining physiological data during assessments. So things like if they're feeling anxiety, or if they're putting forth a lot of effort, or if they're feeling engaged. It's going to let us tailor the assessments to what, to how they're feeling. It's also going to let us make the assessments better, so people are not so stressed. And finally, what is a classroom? So I wanted to bring this up as I wrap up. The first thing that struck me when I wanted to ask this question is a classroom is not a place, it is people. That sounded really clever when I wrote it, and I realized after the fact that it is what Odin said about Asgardians in the last Thor movie. But I decided to keep it in because Odin is correct, as always. We need to stop thinking about classrooms being physical spaces or even locations. Classrooms can be entirely virtual. They can be a place where students are actually building the content and contributing the content, and not a smart person standing in front of them saying things into a microphone. They can build it. They can create it themselves. And we need to start thinking about classrooms as something far away from the building, too. We can be giving students badges or micro-credentials that are pushed to a blockchain to track the stuff that they're learning and accomplishing far away from any building. So that's it. And I think all those things should be classrooms.